I think, honestly, really excited for the incredible technology that we've incorporated into the film. And most of the time when we're making it, we have no idea what it's going to look like. So I'm excited to see it as a Disney fan, and I feel like I'm
rooting for the evil queen. I'm rooting for Gal Gadot as the evil queen because I just hate Rachel Zegler that much.
With Snow White being labeled a steaming pile of garbage that no one wants to watch, we all know who's taking the blame, right? That's right, Rachel Zegler. But word on the street is that she's now pointing fingers at her co-star, Gal Gadot, placing the blame squarely at her feet. Let's break it all down because this one is juicy.
Reports are surfacing from all corners that Gal and Rachel can't stand each other. According to E.T., there's definitely been tension between the leading ladies of Snow White.
Stars? Sure. Friends? Not even close. E.T. has learned there has definitely been tension between Snow White leading ladies Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler, and they're, quote, not close by any means.
You two clearly get along and respect and love
I
each
have
other.
no idea what you're talking about.
Hater.
And they are not close by any means. You might think they get along and respect each other, but let me tell you a little story, not from a fairy tale book, but one filled with real-life drama, reminiscent of the cartoon antics where characters argue behind the scenes. Once upon a time, there were two actresses, Gal and Rachel, who worked together on a big-budget movie called Snow White.
I'm gonna say it again. My name is Gal, and I'm Jewish.
Rachel played the sweet princess, while Gal took on the role of the evil queen, the one who's always asking the mirror, who's the fairest of them all? Now that the movie is finally out, you'd expect everyone to be talking about its magic and stunning costumes. Instead, the buzz is all about the drama happening behind the curtain. So, what's the scoop?
Never did I imagine that on the streets of the United States and different cities around the world, we would see people not condemning Hamas, but celebrating, justifying, and cheering on a massacre of Jews.
It all started when Rachel posted a heartfelt thank you message on Instagram, expressing how special the movie was to her. She shared happy memories, hugs, and smiley photos with her teammates, even claiming the film changed her life. But here's the kicker. Gal, the actress who played the big bad queen, was completely left out of the post. No tag, no picture, not even a tiny mention of her.
Political views differ, adding to the tension, a source tells People magazine.
It was as if she had vanished into thin air. Fans quickly went into detective mode, speculating whether this was a mistake or a deliberate snub. Was there some secret beef brewing between the two? Now, instead of discussing magic mirrors and fairy tales, everyone is buzzing about this mysterious missing shout-out. Who knew a single Instagram post could stir up so much trouble?
Had her tweet out like a little, yay, Snow White, can't wait, so excited, I love to play her. And she did it and got like millions of views, and they were like, good job, Rachel. And then she, like, minutes later followed it up with, and never forget, free Palestine. This is just like a few months after 10/7. It was like, it hadn't even been a year. And they were like, my God, what?
And isn't her co-star Jewish?
Yes.
Yes, Gal Gadot, whatever.
Gadot.
I mean, what?
Yeah.
Wow.
It turns out that Rachel and Gal aren't just different in the movie, like princess versus evil queen. They're also worlds apart in real life, especially when it comes to something serious, politics. Gal hails from Israel and has been vocal about her support for her homeland, famously stating, "My name is Gal, and I'm Jewish."
Drastically scaled down premiere of Disney's Snow White. Despite reports, there was tension between them.
They never actually looked at each other the entire time. They never even glanced at each other. Now, this is a little bit odd, and I can say this as somebody who's co-hosted many shows with other hosts. Like, that's the biggest diss you can do to someone, not look at them.
She even served in the Israeli army when she was younger. On the flip side, Rachel has been outspoken in her support for Palestine, which has sparked a significant amount of controversy. During filming, Rachel posted a powerful message online advocating for Palestine, which sent shockwaves through the set.
I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have. I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats.
According to a source speaking to People magazine, the stark contrast in their political views added to the tension. Imagine trying to bake cookies with someone who wants to add hot sauce while you're all about chocolate chips. Confusing, right? Now, people are starting to wonder if Rachel's omission of Gal from her Instagram post was more than just a forgetful mistake. After Rachel tweeted her excitement about playing Snow White, she followed it up with a post about supporting Palestine, just months after a significant conflict.
To everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
This raised eyebrows, especially since her co-star Gal is Jewish. What started as a fairy tale quickly morphed into real-life tension that even magic wands couldn't fix. Now, the film wasn't just a fairy tale with a princess and an evil queen. It turned into a battleground of real-world issues. As a result, Snow White ended up with the lowest IMDb rating ever, 1.6 out of 10. Yep, that's officially one of the worst scores in Disney's history, and the wildest part? It wasn't even because of the movie itself, but because of the behind-the-scenes drama. Talk about a nightmare for the producers. You can bet they're questioning their casting choices. Things got so bad that some theaters were practically empty during showings of Snow White. People online shared pictures of rows and rows of lonely seats during opening weekend, just waiting for someone to fill them. And here's the kicker. This live-action remake of the classic 1937 Snow White cost a staggering $270 million to produce, with an additional $100 million spent on marketing. That's like buying a giant castle and then renting fireworks to attract visitors, only to find no one shows up. Before all the chaos erupted, Gal and Rachel actually appeared together at the 2025 Oscars, even going on stage to present an award side by side, smiling as if everything was fine. However, during the drastically scaled-down premiere of Snow White, they never once looked at each other. This was a glaringly odd moment, especially for anyone who has co-hosted shows or worked closely with others. Ignoring someone is one of the biggest slights you can give. As the drama unfolded, some began to wonder if it was all just a coincidence, or if Gal secretly enjoyed seeing Rachel take the heat. Perhaps she felt a sense of satisfaction knowing it was Rachel who was in trouble this time. Disney's PR team was working overtime, scrambling to manage the fallout from Rachel's comments. They even brought in a social media expert to try and control her posts, but that was like trying to stop a hurricane with a broom. Rachel had already stirred the pot by criticizing the original Snow White, which angered many fans. The situation escalated to the point where the movie's producer had to fly out to talk to her about the ongoing issues. Even Steven Spielberg, the legendary director, reportedly took notice of the mess. Talk about a big problem. In the wake of the Oscars drama, Rachel didn't stay silent. She took to her Instagram stories to vent about the backlash she was facing. Backlash is when everyone suddenly turns against you, and Rachel wasn't shy about expressing her feelings. She shared her struggles, saying, "I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have. I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me threats." While Rachel wanted to clarify that she wasn't the villain in this story, her attempts to address the drama only made things messier. More people began to talk, and opinions flew around, turning the whole situation into a social media soap opera. After all the drama, Rachel posted that Snow White was a life-changing and emotional experience for her. It sounded nice, but by now no one really believed it. People continued to share photos of empty theaters and questioned what had happened between her and Gal. Disney's PR team was scrambling to fix the situation, and it felt like watching a disaster unfold in slow motion. Snow White had transformed from a movie into a punchline, with people mocking Disney for what appeared to be an identity crisis. As for Rachel, She went from being a rising star to a cautionary tale about the perils of fame, drama, and a massive $270 million movie that bombed. It's like a fairy tale gone completely wrong. The story of Snow White was meant to be about a princess finding her happy ending. But Rachel's journey turned into a stark reminder of the complexities of fame, politics, and the consequences of mixing big egos with a high-stakes production.